We're live on Instagram and we are live on YouTube. Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam. Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is the Pink Elephant in the Room conversation. And what we will be discussing for today is about what? Things are not okay. We're going to be talking about the I'm not okay experience. And to first start off, what exactly do I mean by the I'm not okay experience? First of what I mean is we have many people in our world who will we say one thing but we truly mean another. And what I mean by that is simply we will tell people we're fine when deep inside we are hurting. And part of that is understandable because in a world you live in, even in my experience, it's hard to find people you are able to talk to about what you feel inside without there being any judgment or seeming as though you're in the wrong or something for feeling the way you feel. If you meet people like that, realize that you might have to leave those people alone because they probably are dealing with something themselves. Um, Hence why they showed that type of energy towards you. But to begin with, first, my own experience. In my own experience, I've gone through many of times. I've talked a few times about it on YouTube. As many of the people on YouTube would know, I've gone through several issues of trying to love myself, and I want to keep this in mind that trying is the first step to failure. And that's what I was doing. Even if failure doesn't exist, it's the fact that I wasn't giving my all to me. And because of that, when people would ask me how I'm doing or anything, I would say I'm fine. And this is also partly, it has to do with what society tells you to be. That you should not show your feelings, that you need to be strong. You need to show your power and whatnot. And you have to understand that all of that is irrelevant to who you truly are. If you truly desire to show your emotions, show your emotions. My problem was I had so much trouble with that because I was so emotional, but at the same time I dealt with so many people who would act a certain way because I was showing my emotions that I'd eventually shut down from using them. And of course, as I was growing into who I am as a person, I was able to get past that point of what may have seemed like no return. Once I got past that point, I looked towards loving who I am, loving me for me. And that was a difficult task due to the fact of so many things that were going on with me, both whether it was my own awakening of understanding self or whether it was the people around me. It became a difficult task for that reason, and I had to learn, first of all, to let go. Let go of any idea inside me that tells me to block how I feel. And to express that, whether it means expressing it through drawing, expressing it through dancing, cooking, maybe there's a video game or video games you enjoy, um, whatever works for you. The second thing is finding people you feel deeply you can talk to about those things, that you feel you can connect to in helping you grow who you are. Life may not be perfect, and yes, there are many people who cannot handle that type of energy from someone uh, due to where they are, perhaps. But there are people who are willing to listen, really good listeners, and willing to talk to people and understand people. And if you find people like that, cherish those people, connect with those people, love those people, because there aren't too many, I would say, at times, for many people out there where you can, or we can pop up and help you. And most of the time, this is due to, in my own experience at least, I can help people one way or another because how I fluctuate energy, fluctuating negative energy and pushing it to the side and whatnot, even though I'm an empath. And usually, of course, I have to take breaks or I have to find a way to fluctuate the energy in order to keep going. And usually, I'll do one or the other. Some people, on the other hand, can't handle that amount of energy, or give or take the person, if you still do not understand yourself, you may be judging people included. And that being said, that could be a problem to people who are those types of listeners, who are very open and unjudgmental to who you are. But it's really up to you what works and what doesn't work and what you desire in your life to create. The third thing is you have to, before even any of this, but the third thing is you have to learn to love who you are. You have to take time to yourself to love you for you. Not to love you because someone told you to, not to love you because I told you, but to genuinely love you because you love who you are. You love everything about you, everything you're doing, everything you're becoming. You have to love yourself first. When you have love within, no matter what anyone says anymore, you you're not worried about the fact of what so and so said or what so and so said about you. You're learning how to not doubt yourself. You're learning to love yourself for you instead of loving yourself because someone said, or loving yourself because someone gave you a value of how you should love yourself and whatnot. The value should be what you feel deep inside is how you should love who you truly are. You are amazing, beautiful people. Don't ever think less of yourself. But on the opposite end, do not ever think less of others. You have to realize we're all one. And the hardest thing for most of us in that experience is number four, which is what I said earlier about I'm not okay. Learning how to judge those as well on their journey. If you're not okay, it might not be in your best interest to judge someone who is on their journey of becoming who they are. That energy can be leached on very quickly. So learning how to work with people, compromise with people, understand people, including yourself, with first loving who you are, will allow you to work with that person and communicate what you feel inside. And you always find somebody if you truly choose for it to happen. If you don't, if you constantly say, I want, I want, I want, understand that want is less. Want is the lesser meaning of who you are not. If you want something, you have to realize the universe will give you exactly what you ask for. When you want something, what you're getting isn't what you want. What you're getting is the wantingness of wanting that. So, pretty much in layman's terms, what I mean is you're going to more or so whine over the fact of something you desire than actually choose to have it. Choose for those things to be in your life. Choose to shift your life. You have to change in the process. You have to realize that truth within self changes constantly, just like the truth of this planet, just like the truth of our galaxy, just like the truth of our universe, just like the truth of the Milky Way. It is all its own truth and constantly changing over and over and over. And realize you are changing, and you are changing to evolve into your higher self of who you are, because of the simple fact that you can. Now, of course, you don't have to choose this, but to be the higher self of who you truly are is to realize how amazing you truly are, instead of worrying about what other people think of you and what you feel. And be willing to express those things out loud to yourself. If you, I talked about this in probably 2 weeks ago about looking in the mirror. If you need to look in the mirror and discuss what you feel about self, if you need to write a note and maybe crumble it up or burn it or whatnot, if you need to write poems, sing songs, do songwriting, whatever helps you to express that frustration within your heart, do it. Go forth and make that happen, because not only that, maybe your own frustrations might create an avenue you never even mentioned for yourself. I'm sorry, you never even thought would happen for yourself. So, we talked about my experience and everything, and I gave you guys information of what you can do to grow self. So, I'm going to end it off with this. How exactly does this relate with the soul? I say this all the time, of course. But how this relates with the soul is, yes, we all go through growing pains in life. We all go through frustration. We all go through sadness. We all go through things. But you have to understand that nothing you go through will remain the same. You may not feel okay right now. You may feel frustrated. You may even be in deeper situation than you might imagine. But you have to remember, love thyself. Grow. Keep going forward until you get to where you say you desire to go. Don't take no for an answer. Be willing to express yourself. Even if there are people who will not listen to you, express yourself. Because as you keep going on your journey, and if so you choose to find people that are willing to understand you and you willing to understand them, you'll have that before you. But you have to be willing to choose it. And you have to understand you need to keep the balance between each other when you choose people or you find people like that, genuinely, who care and are open like that. Treat them with the same kindness you would treat yourself. If not, for those people who feel like, well, I treat myself horribly, so I guess I'll do that to them, treat them like you would treat your higher self of who you are. Or better yet, think like your higher self and tell me, how would you treat that person around you? How would you treat yourself? You have to be willing to choose. Not to want, because you're not going to get anything from that, but you must be direct and choose, decide, and make happen. Because realize how amazing, how beautiful, how magnificent, how divine, how creative you all are as the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within. So, we're ending it here. But remember to work on loving yourself, to express who you are, to care for who you are, even if no one's listening to you. Realize that you are not alone, that you are loved by somebody. If you don't hear it enough, I love you. But we are ending it here. We will be doing the next video within 30 minutes from now. But to everybody out there, have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. To everybody, peace and namaste.